I'm so excited about tonight. So a couple things real quick while we give it a few seconds for everybody to get in here. I'm sorry, I had to adjust on my stool here. We have Str8sixFan in the house tonight. I'm so excited about that. Him and I have been trying to set this up for about a month and a half. Okay. 2, Drag and Drive 2021 is done. We did it last weekend. That's why I wasn't live last Friday night. I should have gone live during the event, but there was 0 reception at Mocan Dragway for a live feed. Then y'all see my shirt I got on here? Race week registered today for 2.0. The veterans get in early. We are a veteran because we went last year for race week. NarxKart is going. Turbo is on, baby. So we're just going to jump right in because this is the it's going to be the fun part. Let me see what we got here. Yep, Str8sixFan, we are good. 7:15. That gives me time to get through all of my updates. One thing I have noticed is I use my hands a lot, and if y'all notice this finger, I feel like it's getting farther and farther out, right? Bad deal breaking it. So I broke it last summer sometime in the drill, running the drill and the notcher. So don't do that. Bad deal. Gonna end up with arthritis and that, I'm telling you. All right, here we go. First off, Drag and Drive 2021 was epic. If you missed it, the teaser dropped on Tuesday night. The full video drops at 8 p.m. tonight. Literally, we are a hard stop at 8 because I want you guys to watch that thing. I'm not premiering it or anything because I am literally leaving from right here in this stool and hauling butt over to the Big Blocks garage setup. I'm going to put them in the comments here. Big Blocks garage to record a podcast with them. Again, it'll be my second time being on there. We're going to talk about Drag and Drive. We're going to talk about Rocky Mountain Race Week and the prep that will come from that. One other note I forgot to put on my handy dandy notepad here. It's about Cletus and cars, which is in 3 weeks, which you guys know that. So let's cover that. If you follow us on Instagram, you'll see, well, please, that's all I need. You'll see that I posted the list of stuff that I intend to get done by then. It's pretty lengthy. I started today. I grabbed oil filter and spark plugs. So I'm going to throw those in maybe tonight after I get back from the Mad Fro Monroe podcast. So Big Blocks Garage hosts the Mad Fro Monroe podcast. That up there for you guys. Go search all that stuff. You will love it. It's great. The Mad Fro Monroe guys, they're hilarious. Chris Maddox. I don't even know Fro's name. It's just Fro. That's what it is. And then what's up, Steven? Are you still on the road headed to Northeast Arkansas? They probably still are, I would think, or they're really close. They're going down for Dylan Wallace's wedding. And I think while they're there, our uncle is going to, they're having a retirement party. So a lot of the family will be there. I'm super sad I missed it. We just couldn't make it work for this round. Hey, I just saw we got a like on Facebook. We are I don't know, whatever the hell you call this, doing this on YouTube and Facebook. I figured we would give as much reach as possible. But seeing the thumbs up made me think, guys, make sure to hit that button. Make sure to hit the like button if you're on YouTube. Hit the button on Facebook as well. That way, we can kind of skyrocket into the algorithm there because we're going to be on here for another 56 minutes. We literally have a hard countdown, have to end. Here we go. Str8sixFan. He's going to blast the link out to a few places and then jump in the studio. So I've got to get to work. Got to give you guys the update. We raised at the Drag and Drive 2021. We, as in the 30 or 40 people that were involved, there were 18 race cars, raised $1,258. That's insanity. $1,258 in really what is a 1.5 day event. If you've hosted charity events in the past, you know how difficult some of that stuff can be to put together. Love the team that helps me do all this. Love everybody that comes out. It's insane, the support that everyone shows. I love it. We support the Northwest Arkansas Children's Shelter with these events. Sorry, I have like this nasal thing going on. I drank too much Bang today and then mowed the yard. Serious nasal stuff here. Streetcar culture, old car guys here. What up? What up? All right. Drag and drive. 18 cars started. 18 cars. We finished with 15. 3 of them did not make it back. Lewis Martin was the second. He actually broke 4 wheel studs on the orange Nova that you guys will see in the video after this. His son, Zane Harmon, was driving the car. He made 2 passes in it. And then Lewis gets in, makes 1 pass, breaks the wheel studs. I'm not saying it was Lewis's fault, but I mean, Zane didn't break the wheel studs. I'm just saying. And then Carlos Astor completely did something wrong to his number 8 piston in his G body. If you have not followed him, Str8sixFan is in the house. He's in the studio in the back. Going to leave you there for just a minute. Hang tight, bud. Here we go. We raced Friday night. Okay. If you haven't been following along, we raced Friday night at Mocan Dragway, Joplin, Missouri. Then we drove a 192-mile loop, which turned into a little over 200 because your boy right here messed up the directions. And even though I had driven the route, drove the wrong way. So, hey, that happens. That's part of the fun of these things, is getting out, spending some time on the 2-lane highway, understanding that race cars aren't always street cars. Now, you know, the NarxKart is certainly a street car. That car doesn't do anything at the track. 15.6. We ran Friday night right before the track closed. I made 1 more pass, then drove the 201 miles. And then Saturday morning, Saturday when we got back, ran a 15.7. It's not any faster with the turbo, but it's because we only have about 3 pounds of boost if we were making any. If you followed the build, you know there's about 14 feet of exhaust on this car, and most of that is 2.5-inch pipe. If you understand thermodynamics a little bit, it takes a lot of air moving through all of that area to spin that big of a turbo, because it's just a GT45 from eBay. So not a great turbo for this setup, but it sure does look cool, right? We would hear a little bit of boost spoolie noise by about halfway through second gear. So I'm going to put a 7-pound spring in it, and we're just going to let it eat at Cletus and Cars. So there are 4 folks driving, 4 adults riding in the cart. Me and Dustin will be up front because, you know, we're OG Rocky Mountain Race Week co-pilots. And then we got 2 other dudes going to ride in the back seat. So with the Cletus and Cars trip, we're going to do a few videos leading up to that of kind of the prep for the car. I have to cut the fenders out a little more to get it ready to handle that much. Hey, the Couple Project, thank you so much for some super chat. Hang on, let me give you this right here. Boom. Now I know that one's not as cool as the one that Eric was using on Destroyer 1320. Definitely follow his live feed. He has that thing dialed in. I've got to get more time to do it. So, okay, drag and drive. Ton of fun. Video literally drops right after this event, or right after this live feed, okay, as I run out. Yes, the Couple Project. I definitely expect to see you guys at some point during the summer, whether I have to come up to Wichita to see y'all or whatever, which we have to do. We're going to talk to Str8sixFan about that as well. Kind of some YouTuber collaboration stuff. Let's talk about Rocky Mountain Race Week 2.0. I just registered today. I'm so excited. Veteran registration opened at 2 or 3 o'clock Central, and by 3:06 I had my registration and was done and in. We are again in the unlimited class because if you haven't seen, the NarxKart has no body panels, which street car stuff, you need body panels. Hey, hang on. Let's bring the man on the scene. What's up, dude?
What's up? Does this work? Does it flip? There, it flipped.
Yep.
Hey, check it out. Check out what's behind me here.
Is that demonology?
Yeah.
That's what's up. Okay, so for you guys that don't know, Eric with Destroyer1320 is at the YouTuber call out right now in Enos, Texas. So throughout the night, we're going to be bringing him on and letting him. Hopefully, we'll see some. Are you racing tonight? Will there be any racing?
Yeah, we're waiting for these clouds to get out of here. There's little drips. Once they get out of here, then yeah, we're gonna go race.
Nice. How was the trip over?
Perfect, man. It was smooth.
Yep. So your plan? You're going to go live some tomorrow too, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I may go live tonight if I can remember to.
I'll be texting you. I'll be telling you to go live, dude. That's so exciting. I'm pumped for you. Let me see if I can get more centered there.
Can you see hopefully
yeah. Hopefully the rain will move out pretty quick for you guys. Everybody looks like they're huddled up underneath the thing there.
Yeah, they're stopping us from driving over them to get in and race.
Nice. Nice. Are you at the hotel with anybody else that you've seen? I guess you guys probably haven't even checked in yet.
Oh no, we checked in, and there's Flyby G Money. We saw him, Pimpin' TV, Catfish Corner. What was it? Man, just nonstop. Like every 2 seconds, we're seeing somebody. El Boogie.
That's
all
awesome.
The people that we see in all the different chats.
That's cool, man. That is so cool. Well, I'm excited for you. Listen, everybody, right now, go over to Eric's channel. I'm gonna post his link and make sure you hit the bell because you want to see when he goes live. Every time you went live the last 2 days, I've missed out. I think I made it on one.
That's no problem. It was a bunch of goofy stuff. Of course, the Cadillac Ranch one was pretty cool.
Dude, that's the 2 minutes I made was like, you guys were like, oh, should we go to Cadillac Ranch? And I was like, yes, go to Cadillac Ranch.
Nice. Heck yeah, man. Yeah, here's some other
hang on. All right, so there's the link to your channel. For everybody that's out there, go subscribe to him. Make sure to keep up. Hit the bell. Hey, Dan IT guy, what's up? What's up? Make sure to hit the bell because you want to know when he goes live so you can see some drag racing.
Oh, yes. All right. Bring as much as you can.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys, I got to go. I got to get Str8sixFan in here so I can get out of here and do this with Matt.
Appreciate it, brother. We'll see you later.
All right, man. See you. All right, dude, you ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
I mean, hey, I'm just going to throw you in. I'm not even going to give you any heads up or nothing.
Lead in.
Yeah. There's the 815 guys. So we've worked on doing this for, I don't know, probably 6 weeks. I will tell you, you guys do a heck of a live feed. It's always awesome every week, and it alternates between yours and Old Car Guys, which I thought was a really cool format. That way you both kind of get in the mix of the channels and hopefully kind of cross-pollinate some followers.
Yeah, it's worked out really well for us, and it's been we do a spring and a fall season, and we're in season 5 now. So we run like 18 weeks straight, take 8 weeks off, then go 18 weeks on, eight off, kind of a thing. So we're gonna be. Well, it times out just about perfect because we put those breaks, there for like Christmas and things like that, and then like 4th of July and summer. So no, it's a nice. It just works.
Yeah, that's awesome. So 815 here said he enjoyed the Alex Taylor live stream.
Oh yeah, very cool.
Yep. So I missed that one. I'm going back to watch it. I'm about an hour north of them, so I've been messaging Dennis just a bunch, like, hey, can I come see the 55? Can I come see the 55? So we'll see what happens.
Well, Mike, that's what I appreciate about you is like you just there. I would be reluctant to do something like that, but like I saw how you got to meet. I watched JR go in Wichita. I heard you talking to the couple project. They're from Wichita. That's where I grew up, out just barely outside the city limits down there. So
nice.
It's that's what while I haven't followed you for that long, like you feel like you just as well be one of those guys who's like subscriber 30 for me.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I believe in fully hammering everybody. Like if I see your video pop up, I'm gonna watch at least 30% of it, and I'm gonna make a comment.
Well, appreciate that for sure. And
Yep.
we do have Old Car Guy is in the chat. So yeah, that's so Mike was referencing our live, we call it the Car Guy and Six Fan Show. And yeah, it does alternate. This week it is on my channel, coming up on Thursday. But yeah, so what's good, man? Congrats, by the way, on the 1,200 plus. You guys are racked up.
Man, it's so awesome. Like I'm sorry, I'm putting your link in here. Let me put your name in here before it first, though. Dude, it was so much fun. Now, you have to understand, I go to race week for the drive. Like, what I have isn't fast. I mean, if people have seen the cart, they know it's not fast. But I go for the drive because driving is so much fun to me, especially like we were going through some little city. I don't know. It was like just in the edge of Oklahoma. I don't know, wherever, south of Baxter Springs, right? And we're cruising, and these kids are like playing soccer outside, right? And I pass, and I am. This car lives on the limiter about half the time, so I put it in neutral. And this kid turns around, and like I think he was expecting some, just old Grand Marquis with the exhaust cut off. I thought his mouth hit the ground, right? So I'm in the front of like 6 other super cool cars, like Jonathan's all black, perfect paint Nova. That's just. It's a big inch LS in it right now, and it's just chops, chop, 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 and he's pulling a trailer on drag radials. Like, dude, it's crazy. It was crazy. And then at that time we had Eli Gould with like a ratty Firebird, which was so awesome, because it's like a first gen Firebird, and usually people just go nuts on those cars because they're worth so much, but it's rusty and kind of dull paint, and I love it. So drives. That's the goal. You guys get out and drive a ton. I see all the time. You're always doing stuff with the Fairmont.
Yeah, well, yeah. I've put some miles on it. It's currently down right now, but it's frustrating as heck. I really thought by now I would not be messing around with it more and just driving it and enjoying this nice spring weather. But yeah,
I'm telling you, it's great right now. So tell everybody about the low Fairmont. Kind of give us where that idea came from and then where it's going.
So Project Low Fairmont, that's a little pun, like low fare, like cheap, like low fares for your airline ticket. I'm a byproduct of like when I was getting into the cars when I was like 7th and 8th grade kid on the threshold of getting a learner's permit or whatever. You start thinking about, oh yeah, cars. Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I subscribed to CarCraft magazine, and that's when David Freiberger was editor-in-chief back then. So, all these things that we know David Freiberger for, Roadkill and all that stuff, like he was doing in CarCraft magazine, 1998, 99, 2000, that kind of era. So that really formed my whole like perception of like my older brother. He was always go to the nth degree. He was 1970 Chevelle LS6 454 was his dream car. Hot Rod magazine, like everything was top end, and I just looked at it like budget build. That just always I don't know why it had me. I was just it wanted to be different, do something different, and so when so Project Low Fairmont's kind of the proliferation of that. It was and so I set out this I made this top 10 list and like this criteria, and if I told myself if I check off 8 or more boxes, you have to buy the car. Like there's no excuse.
Yes.
Like one of the criteria is like, does it fit in the garage? Yeah, because my garage is only so big. So the funny story on the Fairmont is it was for sale locally, went up, drove it. It stalled on me when I took it on the test drive. The drain plugs in the doors were filled, so like when you shut the door, like you hear water sloshing in it, and like I actually walked away from the car initially because I was like, something just doesn't feel right. Well, like I kept in touch with the seller, and he was having trouble selling it, and then he just out of the blue said he like knocked $800 off it was like 2,200 is what he wanted originally or something. I don't remember how. No, it's 2,500. He wanted 2,500, and he just messaged me one day. If I dropped the price to 1,800, would you buy it? And I was like, I'll be there tonight.
That's awesome. So your intro is, God, give it to us, dude, because you said it so much.
Well, it's funny because Jason and I've been thinking about switching it up. Mm-hmm. But it's helping you build your hot rod and your confidence without a ton of money is kind of what I
listen. And I love that. And there's so many people now that you jump on Facebook groups, forums. If people still go to those, I do because I'm old. But they jump on Facebook and they've got to make 1,000 horsepower. Well, if you're going to do that budgetly, you're going to do that with a turbo LS. Well, if you own a Fairmont and you don't have a turbo LS in your Fairmont, there's something wrong with you, But I tell you, I really like that you've kept a small block Ford in it. What's going to be funny is in the next 5 or 6 years, I feel like you're going to see a lot more of that body style car go back to, it'll become cool again. Like they're cool now, but I think they're cool because of the drag race aspect and, no prep racing and street outlaws and all that kind of stuff. But I think once you see like folks, I don't know how old you are, but I mean, I literally turned 40 a couple weeks ago. So
35.
I'm old.
So.
Yeah, you're getting there. I'm telling you, you'll wake up, your back will hurt. You'll be like, what the hell happened? I don't know. Anyways, but guys guys, when I went to high school, like Fairmonts were old and busted and you didn't do those. But I think as we see more clean examples of that move through, like your car, people will be like, hey, small block Ford isn't bad. And really what people don't understand is 300 wheel horsepower in a car that's that light and that age is so much different than 300 horsepower in like a late model Camaro.
Yeah.
Just because it's so quiet and everything. And that car is a lot more raw,
My wife has a EcoBoost Mustang, so I know what 300 horsepower feels like. And I'll tell you, the Fairmont does not have that.
Those cars would have been probably like 220 or something like that.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up, but
I think it's not much. But I will tell you this. A set of gears and Flowmaster exhaust. No, you have a different. You're not Flowmaster on that car, are you?
Yep.
So Flowmaster and some 373s. That car is money.
It went from like either 247s or 273s to 327s. I found a Lincoln Mark 7 rear end, so it's got 4-wheel disc brakes on it. It's an 8.8 rear. So my thought with the car too is always, we'll kind of go back to the car a little bit. The two things I wanted to do: build an all-around car. I didn't want to be the guy who just threw the junkyard LS in it and called it good. Then sloppy mechanics beat me to that punch, right? So
you're not going to compete with his Fairmont.
Yeah, 5 times over too, right? He only did 4 or 5 of them. So, and then if I built an all-around car, did something with the interior, did something with the suspension, did something with the drivetrain, motor, etc. Like I wanted to touch them all, if you will. I've got 17-inch Crown Vic wheels on it, steel wheels, and but the other thought was like, okay, but the potential buyer, because I want to flip the car eventually. I want to do this all over again with a different platform. I wanted it to be appealing to the guy who has the junkyard LS. So I've done everything else. I put the upgraded rear end in it. It's got a track lock and all that stuff. So I feel like those are my two primary objectives, and that's kind of where I want to keep it.
That's awesome. And Streetcar Culture here says budget builds is where it's at. I 100% agree. 100%. I love budget stuff. I love doing it myself because my thought is if I break it, at least I broke it, and I didn't pay somebody else to break it, because it's going to have, people are going to not do something right. Then you're going to be driving it. It's going to be tore up. And then anyways, and then if I can't figure it out, like I'm not going to tear it up enough to where they can't still fix it. If somebody is a professional. Now, if people have watched my videos, they know I'm no professional.
Well, you said something else there that kind of like reminded me again why I'm building the Fairmont, and that was it's my first project car, and my thought process too is like, I want this to over time. Like I said, I want to flip the car. I want to do another one, kind of up the budget each time and see where I can get in 10 years. I don't want to build a car for keeps now because I don't have the skills, and so a Ford Fairmont, like anything I do to it, I'm not going to make it look uglier, right?
Yep.
Like
agreed. Agreed. And especially that color. I mean, dude, that thing is on the money.
I call the interior 50 Shades of Baby Food or Baby Poop, depends upon which one you want to,
Earlier, Paul with Ingenuity, he said, Low Fairmont has the best seat fabric ever.
One sad thing about that. So when I did get the exhaust done, like I took my checkbook with me to the guy who did the. So of course Nimrod me kept like the pin cap open in my back pocket, and so it made the pin bleed. So there's like blue ink now on the otherwise immaculate plaid seat fabric.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that at all. That'll always be a great story, and that'll be a story for the next person too.
Yeah.
815 is in here a bunch. He said, and I don't know if you guys follow him or their channel, not him. They have some cool LS swap stuff. 2 turbo, 3 turbo cars, all kinds of stuff. But he's building this twin GT45 car's going to make 1,000 horsepower easily. Yeah. We got Street Car Culture asking, when is the Fuel Tech coming?
Yeah, and so I'm wondering, I mean, so he's speaking Australian there, so I don't know if he means Phytech or Fuel Tech. I guess I don't know. Fuel Tech.
Autocorrect.
Yeah.
There's autocorrect. It meant FI Tech.
But I mean, with the recent carburetor troubles, I have been like, yep, this is why. Yeah. So let's talk about that for a second, Mike.
Yep.
The whole, like, you know, there's 2 camps, right? The fuel injected guys make fun of the carburetor guys. The carburetor guys make fun of the, like,
yep.
They both have their place, and I don't have any problem with either of them.
Yeah. I mean, hey,
carburetor floods all the time.
Carb belongs in the trash. I mean, that's where it goes. I'm just kidding. We ran a carb for a really long time in the old truck, and literally that's why it's an LS now, because I was so tired of messing with it, because my stuff parks outside most of the time. Now, if you have a dedicated spot for your car that's in a garage that's not going to get below 50, run a carb, because it'll start whenever you want it to. But the minute it gets cold, my shit it'd be out the window. It was like, nope, I'm not doing this. And then I'd fight it. And then, like, I literally, I bought a universal, like, street rod setup from Speedway one time, and it would not start. And I was like leaving for a car show, needed to be gone. And I just kicked it repeatedly and bent the rod all up. So so then you're like even more mad, and I'm mad at myself, not at the truck, So yeah, fuel injection, that's where it's at.
Well, so it does look like Jason from Street Car Culture was saying Phytech. And here's the other thing, though. Like, this is, I mean, I think many car guys can relate to this. Is where, so I swapped GT40P heads on the otherwise. I mean, this is the other, like, David Freiberger part of me is like, okay, if you could, knowing that you have a limited budget, if you can be a one-trick pony, like, what are you going to throw at it? Like, David Freiberger would just hit it with like a 150 shot of nitrous and write a magazine article about it. But, because I want some street ability and long-term, like, I went GT40P heads. Well, what it costs to get those, to buy a core set, get them machined and everything, like, that amount of money. And then if you add Phytech on top of that, it's like, you'd be an idiot. I could have just bought a 5-liter from a Ford Explorer and had fuel injection and GT40P heads for like half the cost.
Yeah. But man, that's so hard, because like all right, let's talk that rabbit hole for a minute, because I will spend more money, but I'll do it over 6 months. You know what I mean? Like, so, you start adding up, because listen, we get messages almost every day. How much to LS swap X? Okay. I mean, literally all the time. So, because everybody sees a cheap, because the LS is $500, right? But fuel pump, better line, all the stuff that goes along with making something fuel injection, you end up just nickel and diming yourself. So if you have time to gather parts, do that. If you are like, I want this thing running in 3 weeks, and it has a running small block Chevrolet or Ford, and you just need a new carburetor, spend $200 on a new carburetor, or $300, whatever they cost now, and throw it on top and just go. You know what I mean? That makes sense. And then keep piling stuff. And that's what we did with the old truck. The carb would be bad, so I'd rebuild it. I rebuilt that carb like 3 times. Ended up being, it was picking up trash from the tank, putting it into the fuel pump. Fuel pump wasn't working. The diaphragm wasn't working enough. So then it would get gunk in the carb. It would make it through the filter into the carb, and I'd just be mad. So I'd rebuild the carburetor because it wasn't running right, when in reality it was the $17 fuel pump down on the bottom.
I wonder if that's what I'm dealing with right now, because it's, I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell.
So, if I don't know how hard it is to get to the sending unit in that car, but if you can pull it, look at that sock, because that's what killed me in the old truck. Literally was the pickup. It had rotted off the bottom, and so it was allowing little particles of stuff up. And then the mechanical pump, we opened it up, and dude, I wish I was recording YouTube then, because it was like packed full of just like this mound of rust.
Oh man, that sending unit is pretty easy to get to. I've had the tank out twice on that. But.
Yeah, I'd look at that. Let's look at some of the notes here. So we got Tim Webb asking, what city does 815 LS X swaps work in? He said Northern Illinois. Those guys are coming to Cleetus and Cars with me. We're going to be pit passes, and I'm going to get them really drunk, and then they're going to stay at the Airbnb, which is around the corner. He's asked if they work on cars. And then Street Car Culture says, to be honest, depends on what you're doing, what you're wanting to do. Nothing wrong with the carburetor set up correctly. They can be really reliable when set up and tuned correctly. Fuel injection is obviously great because it'll start in 30-degree weather if it's been outside all night.
Yeah, I mean, so the story on the Fairmont is the last episode I did. I did somewhat of a tune-up. They ran great. I was like, picked up some throttle response, loving life. Needed to try one more thing to see if I could get drive to show back up in the C4, which is another problem. Which I was just going to bypass the vacuum line straight to manifold. Just bought some super long vacuum hose, right, to just try it. Next day, go out there, and it just cranks and cranks and cranks until the carburetor flood. Like, it wouldn't even fire. And so it's like, I get what you're saying, Jason, from Street Car Culture. A carburetor can be reliable, but it's like, I have no clue what possibly could have happened in not even 24 hours to go from running great. Like, I doubt the half turns I did on the idle mixture screws and the 2 degrees of timing I took out of it were enough to make it not fire.
Right. That's what would happen to us. One of the events, we were hosting it, and so I was like, I'll take the old truck, and I drove it up front from the shop, parked it, and it wouldn't start anymore. I'm like, dude, you started it, messed with you 30 minutes out back to get you running, driving it front, won't start. Stayed up there for a week, it wouldn't start at all. And one morning, go out, fires right off. I'm like, you bastards.
Yeah.
What's up, Bad Tree Productions? Let's see. 815 says he may end up crashing at the Airbnb with us. I'll guarantee you, you will, because they're 4 hours from where we're going to be, and we are going ham all day at Cleetus and Cars. My goal at Cleetus and Cars is to get invited to the Freedom Factory, not just show up. I'm going to get invited. So for the cart, because I think that'll make a really fun video as well. Driving all the way from Bentonville, Arkansas to Tampa or Bradenton, which is a 17-hour trip. So
I don't have the stones to do something like that.
Oh man, you could make it. You could make it. It'd be fine. So let's talk about YouTube for real quick, because I know there is some folks that get frustrated with YouTube, but let's are you YouTube full time?
No, oh no.
What do you mean you're monetized? Doesn't that mean you make like $5,000 a month?
Yeah, no, this is going to be the first year I make 4 digits worth of money on YouTube.
Nice. That's awesome, man. You're balling out of control.
Yeah.
Now. Look out. You may be able to buy some stuff soon. I don't know.
No, you know what? Actually, what I've been doing the last 2 years, like I take my gross income from YouTube and I take 10% and I just give it to some other YouTuber. Like, it just kind of surprised them, and that's been really rewarding. I've only done it, 2 years in a row now, but it's just really cool just to be able to totally blindside some people and cheer up their day or whatever.
What's great about I try and jump in as many live chats as I can if I'm not busy at my regular day job. I try and jump in as many, and then I'll send $5 or $6, trying to get that thing rolling to where folks will you drop $5, another person drops $5, another and so it helps them grow. And then obviously we all know stuff is expensive.
Yeah.
Like this stuff doesn't come for free, you got to buy GoPros and good. You have a great camera that's not a GoPro. Everything I record is on my GoPro 8, but you actually have a lot better camera for your stuff. And I think you still do some on GoPro, right?
I got DJI The DJI version.
Yep.
That I have. Yeah.
Action camera. There you go. There you go. And then what do you shoot like your steampunk video wasn't on shot from the DJI, was it?
No, yeah, I have a Canon SL2, which was like entry level DSLR, so right before the M50 got big, like I really wanted a mirrorless camera, but I was about 1 year ahead of like, again, it's all cost, right? Like,
yeah,
it's so if it was like a year later, I probably would have been buying the M50, but I'll be honest. So, even though it's a beginner level, bottom of the line body, if you will, it's true what they say. It's all about the lenses. It's like with Christmas and everything, I would ask for a new lens, and
there you go.
That's where you get that buttery smooth, like that awesome cinematic depth of field. It's all about the lens. So you can have below average camera bodies, and it's really the lens doing all the work.
Yeah, definitely. 815 says his goal is to get their sticker on the back of Ruby's bumper. Paul at Ingenuity says that he's in for a Freedom Factory trip. Now, this dude, he's not scared. He's fixing to be on a trip he don't know about. Like, I'm gonna call him when they be like, "Hey man, come on, let's go. I'll meet you halfway if you'll meet me." He's his channel is great. I love his stuff. Love the stuff that he's got planned coming. So
his style, I love his style. He's got and his sense of humor. That's the one thing that like we talk about often on our show is like I struggle a ton with. This setting's awesome. I smile a ton, laugh a lot, but when it's just me and a tripod, I tend to come across pretty dry. But Paul does not struggle with that. I love watching. He cracks me up.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to him in person after 2 beers. You know what I mean? Like, I think it would just be hilarious. Sorry, I got some folks here texting me. Let's go to Old Car Guy says jobs suck. Yes, if we could all YouTube every day, all day, it would be great. 815 says the couple wants the couple project to send him a message, get them a sticker. Sticker decals. You've got some, right? How do people get your decal?
You really so a lot of people will reach out to me. It's like, hey, I'll pay you, and I was like, no, I really don't want money. I just would rather get the shout out. Swap stickers with people, and I charge just hit me up in a direct message on Instagram or Twitter, and we'll exchange addresses and just show the sticker on one episode. It can be for 2-3 seconds, and just say go check me out, and that's it.
That's awesome. That's a great idea. So, we've got some NarxKart decals that are coming soon. I'm hoping to have them by the time we go to Cletus. I should anyways. So
the sticker thing,
we're going to be doing some swapping.
The sticker thing is funny because it's like, I've got a stack of 50 in the other room just around the corner. And it's like, I'll walk into the room and I'll see that stack. It's like, man, I haven't sent a sticker out in a while. And then all of a sudden it's like I sent 3 out this week. It's like it's feast or famine, and then here we are talking about it, and then one of our guests coming up on our show, she wants one, so it's like it'll be 5, and shut up, Jason. You've got if your country wasn't weak sauce and closing your border, it would have made it to you by now.
Yeah, listen, those stickers can have the corona,
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yep, 815 says it's the best advertising. So we've begun in the inside front of the bed of the old truck. I'm going to sticker bomb it with everybody's YouTube or Instagram handles. So
I'm actually like the 2 stickers I sent out. I'm actually behind on. Haven't done one yet, so we'll try to 2 birds, 1 stone it. So I know Dan's Garage is one, and then we've got some stuff from our buddy Tom at Mordsky over here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, his stuff. I will say his decal or the sticker I got definitely like made me think, I need to update. Like I need a good one for the cart, because at some point I won't own this thing anymore. We'll eventually be able to give it away. It may be 5 years from now, but I'll eventually be able to give it away. So you've had ups and downs in your YouTube career. Let's talk frustration. Like. I haven't put this out much, but I'm really frustrated with YouTube lately, just because, you pour your heart into entertaining other people, and it's like, man, I wish more people would watch this video. How do you overcome that? Do you just do it because you enjoy the documentation of following the process? Do you do it because you want to show your grandkids one day, hey, look how cool Pawpaw was? Or is it like, I'm generally here to help people?
Yeah, so the question is what keeps me going, really?
Yep.
It's funny. I think when I got into YouTube, it was really, I took the mindset of it's just me doing my hobbies. I'm just deciding to hit record while I do it. It's kind of, and then the more you get like entrenched in the YouTube actual hustle part, and then you start like, geeking out on like your Think Media and your creator fundamentals and all these guys. And they're telling you, consistency is key, this, that, and the other. Well, what I found is like, okay, well, if I knew YouTube likes consistency, so I at least want to do that once a week upload. It's like a reverse accountability to the project car, because, sometimes it's like, like what I'm going through right now with the carburetor. I really am not that motivated to go out and try to fix it, because I just, in my head, am thinking that I'm going to throw some parts at it, I'm going to put it all back together, and it's going to flood still. But the YouTube side of thing is like that accountability is like, sorry, man, don't sit on the couch, go out there, figure it out,
Yep.
like, so I guess that's what in a weird way, I mean, yes, it's frustrating. I know I speak for old car guy and myself. I haven't been able to figure it out, but since the new year, it's like, I don't feel like the quality of my videos have gotten worse, but none of them have met my level of what I call success. And that is like in your first 48 hours of an upload, this is just for me. I like to see in views 10% of what my subscriber count is. So I'm at like 2,640 subscribers right now. So I would expect my next upload to hit 264 views in the first 48 hours. And if it's below that, I'm disappointed. If it's above that, I'm giddy. It's just my personal benchmark. It's everybody's is different, right?
Yeah.
But man, I mean, I've had maybe 2 or 3 do that. Whereas like the fourth quarter of last year, it was probably, I was probably batting 7 out of 10.
That's awesome.
Doing that. So I don't know what gives. Man, don't know what gives.
I'm the same way. Like I'm always like, okay, if this gets 100 in day one, that's a win, and I think we're at 2302 or something like that. So I'm like, man, like, how does only 5% of my folks see this video? But what's crazy is I'll see videos pop up like from your channel that are from 3 weeks ago that I probably saw when it popped up, but I never watched. Well, then I'm like, oh shit, I got to go in here and watch this. Cause like I'm following along with the video, or the process. So, or build, whatever. So that's probably the hardest part, I think, for small channels, is because if you have only watched YouTube for a while and not been in it, you're probably not following a lot of small channels. So a lot of the guys that are small, we all live this fight. 5 to 10% would be a win in the first 48 hours for us, but you see, Hoovy or Cletus or Watch JR throw a video up and it's got like 10,000 views in 12 minutes. You're like, oh dude, I can do that video, and then you throw it up and it gets 12 views in 2 weeks. You're like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? And so I don't know if you follow Gary V,
Yep.
One of those dudes, but he's really the reason we started documenting, because he was like, it doesn't matter, just start recording, you'll figure it out later. And so a lot of people that I talk to, they're like, what camera should I buy? What editing software? All that kind of, I'm like, dude, just start recording on your phone. It's in your pocket all the time. When you come with the thought, just record it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that. And I think Paul, I'm pretty sure, does all of his recording on his phone.
Okay. Yeah. And, the way phones are getting nowadays anyway, pretty high quality video, as long as you have good lighting, because what you're going to suffer from on the phone side of thing is just, it's got to have the tiny little sensor to get a little camera geeky there. So in low light, it's going to struggle to just, there's not a big enough aperture to pull light in. But yeah, phones are fantastic, especially here in 2021, fantastic devices to use for a YouTube channel.
Well, and think about all the extra stuff that you're going to do with that $1,000 you spend on a phone compared to $1,000 you spend on a camera, So you may spend, like we spent $400 on the GoPro. $400 on a phone anymore doesn't do much, but
Yeah.
You know, I carry this thing with me all the time, everywhere. You know, I mean, it's I think an 11, so it records in 4K. I just don't ever do it. The only stuff I do with my phone is shorts and the TikTok and Instagram game. So, Paul with Ingenuity said he records with a Canon T6 and his phone.
Okay, yeah, T6 it's a good platform. A little older, but it's a good one.
That's awesome. Apocalypse Off-Road says, my first video from 2015 is near 60,000 views, and he doesn't know why. Those are the folks I talk to all the time when they're like, hey, should I start a YouTube channel? I'm like, I don't know. Like, they're like, I loaded a video 2 or 3 years ago and it's got like 50,000 views. I'm like, how did you do it? Like, tell me how you did it, you know? So we got Classic Ride Society says he does all of his videos on his phone. Said he bought a SL2 like you and hasn't used it yet.
Yeah. Hey, welcome, Benny. He's if you haven't checked out his stuff, definitely do. He's in the DFW area, I believe.
Nice.
At least northern Texas, or north central Texas, whatever they call it. I never quite. But he's got a good channel. That's
awesome. Well, he definitely needs to go check out the all YouTuber call out there. It's in Enos this weekend. I'll definitely hit him up because we have some trips planned. I'm making my notes here. We have some trips planned that way. Classic Ride Society. What a cool name.
Yeah, he's really blossomed and blown up. I mean, we've been following each other for, I don't know, at least 2 years, probably 3. And I'm guessing he's probably around 14,000, maybe more subscribers now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the kind of growth I need. Listen,
I know.
I need to make a little bit of a living from this, y'all. Just saying. Like, I don't need to make a living from it. I just need to get more car part money, you know, like for the NarxKart there. You know,
yeah.
However, I move that thing, woohoo, make you sick. Yep. Bigger turbos, better stuff. Because I'm telling you what's going to happen is I'm going to keep turning this thing up and we're going to end up windowing the block and then it's going to need an LS. So let's see who else we got here. 815 said they just ordered a vlogging handy cam. I don't know what that means, but sounds cool. Classic Ride Society said he was in Enos yesterday. 815, they were talking about Bad Tree Productions asked, is TikTok worth it? He's heard some conspiracies. And then 815 said he hadn't had much luck with TikTok, but I have. And I don't know. What's strange to me is early on, again, Gary V, it's like you got to be on TikTok early. You got to put stuff out there. You got to promote all that kind of stuff, right? So we have 16,000 followers, but I'll load a video and I get 300 views on there. So yeah, who knows? And the hard part for me is like, I have a hard time advertising, I guess is what you'd call it.
I was going to pull up. You say Gary V. I'm reading his jab, right hook right now.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't read that. I don't have time to read a book, man. We got kids in soccer, and I guess I could probably read the book while my kid is at soccer. That's a good idea. I'd be like, you're doing great.
We can do the Audible thing.
There you go. That's a good idea.
Just put
my
one
problem
earbud in.
And my problem with that is like it's got to be in there by osmosis at that point because I'm not paying attention.
I know.
You know,
I've tried that too. Like at work, I used to be able to do like sports talk radio and work, but now anymore, I'm just like, wait, what? There's been someone talking to my ear for like 20 minutes, and I don't really know what I just got.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Streetcar Culture has a good point here. He said he believes that channels with more than one person involved are more successful due to the personalities and banner involved. I'll agree a lot with that. And at some point, my brother, if he's still watching this, his ass is going to start recording with me and or at least start making videos on his end. I'll edit them, but he's got to make them. So we've worked on that a little bit. He just doesn't think about it ever, which I get.
Yeah, no, I agree exactly with what he says. That's been a long time theory of mine as well. And I liked what Roy Marco's Garage said. He's kind of like, if you want to blow your mind here on a Friday, he says, I think every social media is a channel ... to your channel. So, I'm on TikTok as well, but I struggle with generally speaking, I'm a less is more type. I would rather not have to manage 5-6 accounts, but if I'm being real about it, I'm really digging deep and thinking about what that means. That means there's other people out there who are just like that, who just like Instagram or just like TikTok or just like whatever. So if I'm not on all of them, I'm not finding that person.
Yep.
So I'm leaving money on the table. But yeah, it's really hard to keep up and provide consistent quality content.
Mhm.
Like, you know, my main focus is YouTube. Instagram's my great secondary one, but like TikTok, I think I've got 12 posts maybe in the last year.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think we have 400. So here's my theory, right? We may not be very good at what we do, but I'm going to hammer it down so many people's throat that somebody somewhere sometime is going to see my content. And if they don't like it and they don't come back, okay, well, hey, that's one view down there, but somebody's going to like it at some point and be like, hey, these guys have put out a bunch of content. So yeah, we're definitely not scared. The hard part for me is like if you followed Watch JR Go very long, you know, his advice to me every time is do a daily video, man. It's easy. Just do a daily video. I'm like, bro, I can't do a daily video. He's like, man, I work for like an hour in the shop now, or like back when before he had the shop, his house. He's like, I'd work for like an hour and record 10 or 15 minutes of it, and that'd be my video. I'm like, man, when I start doing that, I end up with like a 6-minute video from 3 hours of work because I'm time lapsing because I don't want to bore people, you know? So
yeah, that's the struggle. Or you know, I always talk about you get halfway into the task at hand and something, you know, it's the rusty bolt that's hanging you up. And so you may have started out with a plan and you're setting up shots and you're making it good and entertaining, but then you're like, oh, nobody's going to want to watch me battle this for an hour and a half. So then you stop thinking about it. And then you're like, oh crap, now I've done like 5 things since the last thing I got on video.
Yep.
Now I have to piece the story together and it's just me talking to the camera. Nobody wants to see that either. So it's a struggle.
Yeah. And I've been working on, like if it's a time lapse video and I'm there, I'll physically set my computer up and watch the video and GoPro myself reacting to that stuff. And then that's what I'll lay down in the corner now, because I'm like, people don't want to watch that much dead time, and you can only change it and chop it so much if you're still trying to get stuff done. Classic Ride Society had a great point here. He said, just make will it run, start, drive, stop, go 500 miles videos. Seems like a ton of people are doing that. I will agree with that. I do have an idea, and I'm going to put it out here. I've never put it out in the world before. I've told a couple of friends, but there's a junkyard here called You Pull It right here in Rogers. They also own a second location in Beaumont, Texas, which is 519 miles between the two. I want to do the You Pull It 500 bucks, 500 miles. Everything that you can get is right there in the junkyard. I think that'd be a ton of fun. And I know I'm hitting you right here at the last second on thought process. Give me a timeline on how long you think it would take you to do that. Like you're walking in the junkyard with your tools.
Oh.
And then you got to drive to Beaumont, and then you got to get back, because I'm trying to figure out like how much time off am I going to need to do this trip.
Well, you're asking the wrong guy, Mike, because if you've watched my channel for any period of time and you know this car's taken me 3 years, that what you just described would take me probably 6 weeks.
Yeah. So listen, You Pull It. Here's what we're going to do. Me and Str8sixFan are coming over. We're going to need you to write us about 2 months worth of checks.
Yeah. Hopefully they have a camper somewhere in their junkyard. That's what.
Oh, dude, there's plenty of minivans. You may be in there with a raccoon or something like that. All right, we've got 4 minutes. Chris Maddox, who is part of the Mad Fro Monroe podcast, that are literally waiting on me right now. He says I'm going to be late, which I am. So let's give these people give them the Str8sixFan why they need to be recording more, why they need to stay on YouTube, and what they need to do to be as successful as you.
Well, I kind of want to piggyback on Classic Ride Society's comment about we'll just do the will it run, yada, yada, yada. Like that bubble, I feel like it's got to burst pretty soon. Mm-hmm. Like it's going to not be that popular pretty soon. I still can't figure out how that many people can sit there and watch something like that for an hour, because I can't. I'm sorry. Like I move on. But so figure out your own little corner, your own little niche, like what makes you tick. And where we started this conversation, like I literally I saved all my car crafts for a while, and then you get to a certain age and like, why am I holding on to these? And then 6 months,
then you keep them another 5 years.
I got rid of them, and then six months ago I go onto eBay to find old car crafts from 1998 to 2000 to be like inspiration for my channel and story ideas. So no, just be you, whatever makes you tick, make that. And eventually, if you're good enough at it, if people will find you and people will gravitate to that. I'll wrap up real quick with this one last thing, because I know I was on one of your lives a couple weeks ago, Mike, and I made some comment about doing a Vortec 4200 swap, and it's like I'm getting to the point where I'm almost thinking, do I brand myself more as 6Fan? And every build from here on out is always a 6-cylinder of some
Dude,
sort.
I dig it. That could be fun, because like you can always, you can always do whatever you want, but like I think that'd be neat, And the 4200 is a great platform.
Have you followed this? I think he's friends with Sloppy Mechanics, but his channel name's like NVLC57.
Nivlac 57.
Or something.
Something like that. Yep.
He's doing amazing stuff right now with that platform.
We'll drop everybody here. Nivlac 50. I don't know what the real deal is, but how you pronounce that or what it stands for. But yeah, I've followed those guys for a long time. They've got that. It's in a little Chevy 2, right?
Well, he actually did one in a Fairmont recently, and then he put one in I think it's a Studebaker Lark, like a 57.
Yeah, Studebaker, that's right. Yep. And that one's got like a 67 millimeter turbo, and I think he reground some factory cams, or he used. Now this is where I have a hard time, because this is how my brain works. He used an intake camshaft on the exhaust to get more duration or something on the exhaust, and it picked up like 20 or 30 horsepower. So I love that stuff like that, like just trying to figure that little bit out. And that's the other hard part about a channel, right? You could do a channel that's literally that, like figuring out the stuff, and it's just you and whoever's helping you figure the stuff out. In a live feed like this, just talking about how you would make 1,000 horsepower in an inline 6 4200.
Oh well, so Ingenuity is telling me to 2J swap the Fairmont, which there is one on Instagram. It's like Turbo 3.0 or wagon or something. It's a super awesome. It's like this. I mean, it's the late 70s, early 80s green color. Yeah, and I saw what Jason wrote. I won't read it out loud, but I saw it there.
I will. So 6 in a row, ready to go. 6 in the V, you sit to P. That's hilarious, dude.
But that folds in nicely too. The next comment I saw was Jason from Street Car Culture says he has a Barra to ship me from Australia. And yes, I would be when I sell the Fairmont, I would sink all my money into a Barra to have around. I would love to put that in something.
That would be so awesome. I would love, here's the thing. It's 2021. We have 2 minutes. It's 2021. Why is it so hard to ship stuff to Australia? God, those people have the best car culture in the world, like burnouts and stuff all the time, everywhere. I just imagine like there's like 80-year-old ladies that drive, blown alcohol cars to work. That's just what I envision. And if that's not what it is, don't correct me.
Yeah. No, it's, I think the tide's turning a little bit. I've seen more and more Barra swaps and people being able to like wholesale ship over, like lots of 30 blocks and stuff. So anyway, awesome. I'll shut up because I know, Mike, you've got the time limit, so I'll let you take it from here.
Yep, we have 1 minute. Dude, hey, I really want to say thank you very much for coming on. It was a ton of fun. I hate that this is like going to be my shortest episode because there's a ton of stuff I'd love to kick around in your brain. So we'll have to have you back on in the next few weeks. Maybe before what's coming up in the summer? Are you doing what's a big car show in the summer? I got to come see you guys.
Well, Rocky Mountain Race Week, the first one, I'll probably at least go to the Great Bend swap. So that's June, right? Probably. That sounds right.
Yep. So if I think that starts It's either starts the weekend of my anniversary, which is completely out, or it's the weekend after. So weekend after, I'm going to come up to Great Bend because all the 301 streetcar family and all those guys and all the folks we did Rocky Mountain Race Week 2.0 with, they're all going. So we'll go up there and support and drink beer and all that stuff.
We'll figure something out with Central States, though. We'll have a meetup.
Yeah.
We'll meet you in person at some point, Mike.
Yeah,
thanks for having me on.
Hey, dude, thank you so much for coming. I'm literally, I'm not even going to close this out with anything. I'm just going to say peace. Thank you. Subscribe to his channel, wherever the hell it's at. I don't know. Okay, bye.